What if I told you that one of the most significant military encounters of the Cold War was kept secret for over half a century? This isn't a plot from a spy movie. It's a real-life event that unfolded in the icy depths of the Barents Sea. A story of espionage, high-stakes naval strategy, and a collision that could have sparked a global conflict. Today, we're finally pulling back the curtain on this declassified incident. Let's rewind to 1968. The Cold War is at its peak. The United States and the Soviet Union are locked in a tense standoff. A silent war fought with spies, surveillance, and a constant show of military force. Under the waves, a critical part of this war was being waged. American submarines, the silent hunters of the deep, were tasked with one of the most dangerous missions: tracking Soviet ballistic missile submarines. These Soviet subs were the ultimate doomsday weapon, capable of launching nuclear warheads from beneath the ocean's surface. Finding them, tracking them, and knowing their every move was paramount to American national security. Our story centers on the USS Lapone, a Sturgeon-class nuclear-powered attack submarine. She was one of the best in the fleet, a marvel of engineering designed for stealth and endurance. Her captain, Commander Chester Whitey Mack, was a seasoned submariner, known for his skill and daring. In the autumn of 1968, the Lapone was sent on a top-secret mission, codenamed Operation Holystone. The objective: to sneak into Soviet-controlled waters in the Barents Sea and shadow a brand-new class of Soviet submarine, the Yankee. The Yankee class was the Soviet Union's answer to America's Polaris submarines. It was a game-changer, a mobile nuclear launch platform that could hide in the vastness of the ocean, making it nearly impossible to track. The intelligence community was desperate for information on its capabilities, its speed, its depth, its acoustic signature, the unique sound it made underwater. This acoustic signature was the key. If American forces could identify the voice of a Yankee sub, they could track it anywhere in the world. So, the USS Lapone slipped out of Norfolk, Virginia, and began its long, silent journey north. The crew knew the risks. They were heading into the Soviet Navy's backyard, an area teeming with warships, patrol aircraft, and other submarines. Detection meant, at best, a major international incident. At worst, it could mean the loss of the submarine and its entire crew. Life aboard the Lapone was a study in tension and discipline. The submarine ran on silent running protocols. Every noise was minimized. Crew members walked on tiptoe, tools were padded, and even conversations were held in hushed tones. The sonar operators were the ears of the boat, listening intently for the faintest sound that might betray the presence of another vessel. They were hunting for a ghost. After weeks of patient searching in the cold, dark waters, they found it. The unmistakable sound of a large submarine. It was a Yankee. Commander Mack and his crew had hit the jackpot. Now came the most dangerous part of the mission, getting close enough to record its acoustic signature without being detected. This was a delicate and deadly dance. The Lapone had to stay in the Yankee's baffles, the blind spot directly behind its propellers, where its own sonar was ineffective. This position was incredibly precarious. If the Soviet sub suddenly changed course or speed, a collision was inevitable. For days, the Lapone shadowed the Yankee, a silent parasite attached to its host. The sonar team worked around the clock, meticulously recording every sound the Soviet sub made: the hum of its reactor, the churn of its propellers, the clank of its machinery. They were gathering the priceless intelligence they had been sent for. The tension was palpable. Every creak of the hull, every ping on the sonar display sent hearts racing. They were just a few hundred yards from a vessel carrying 16 nuclear ballistic missiles. Then, the unthinkable happened. The Soviet submarine, for reasons we may never know for sure, suddenly changed its depth and slowed down. Commander Mack reacted instantly, ordering an emergency maneuver. But it was too late. The Lapone's sail, the tower-like structure on its back, struck the hull of the Yankee submarine. A gut-wrenching shudder ran through the American sub. On the sonar, the sound of the collision was a deafening shriek, followed by an even more terrifying sound: the noise of the Yankee sub taking on water. In the control room of the Lapone, there was stunned silence. They had just collided with a nuclear-armed Soviet submarine. This was the nightmare scenario. Commander Mac's first priority was the safety of his own boat and crew. Damage control teams reported that while the Lapone was scraped and dented, its pressure hull was intact. "Tay, we're safe, but what about the other guy?" The sounds of flooding from the Yankee were a grim indicator. Had they just sunk a Soviet submarine, potentially triggering World War III? Commander Mac made a difficult decision. Instead of fleeing, he held his position, listening. The sounds of distress from the Yankee continued for a short while, and then they changed. The crew of the Soviet sub was fighting to save their boat. The Lapone's crew listened as the sounds of flooding slowly subsided, replaced by the sounds of pumps and repairs. Miraculously, the Yankee sub had survived. It slowly stabilized and then began to limp away. The Lapone, its own mission, now compromised, turned for home. The crew was sworn to absolute secrecy. They couldn't speak of what happened, not to their families, not to their friends, not to Andone. The incident was immediately classified at the highest levels of the US government, revealing that an American submarine had been operating so deep inside Soviet waters, let alone collided with one of their most valuable assets, would have been a diplomatic catastrophe. For his crew's incredible performance and the priceless intelligence they gathered, Commander Mac was secretly awarded the Presidential Unit Citation, one of the highest honors for a military unit. But the public story was a complete fabrication. The official citation commended the Lapone for sinking to Soviet submarines. It was a cover story designed to explain the damage to the Lapone's cell without revealing the true nature of its mission. The crew had to live with this lie, unable to share the truth of their incredible and terrifying experience. For 50 years, the story remained buried in classified archives. The sailors of the Lapone carried their secret. The Soviet Union, likely embarrassed that an American sub had penetrated their defenses so effectively, never publicly acknowledged the incident either. It became a ghost story, a whisper among sub. It wasn't until the late 1990s, with the end of the Cold War and the declassification of documents, that the truth began to emerge. Sherry Santag and Christopher Drew's groundbreaking book, Blind Man's Bluff, the untold story of American submarine espionage, finally pieced together the real story of the Lapone and its collision with the Yankee. They interviewed former crew members who, for the first time, were able to speak about what truly happened in the Barents Sea. The story of the USS Lapone is more than just a thrilling Cold War tale. It's a testament to the courage, skill, and professionalism of the submariners on both sides who operated on the razor's edge of a global conflict. These men worked in unimaginable conditions, under constant pressure, where a single mistake could have catastrophic consequences for the entire world. It highlights the hidden dangers of the Cold War, a conflict fought not just on battlefields, but in the silent, crushing depths of the ocean. This declassified incident forces us to reflect on the secret history that lies just beneath the surface of the events we think we know. How many other stories like this are still locked away in government vaults? It is a powerful reminder that history is often far more complex and dangerous than the official records suggest. The bravery of the Lapone's crew, who successfully completed their mission and narrowly averted a disaster, deserves to be remembered. Their story, hidden for half a century, is a crucial piece of our shared history. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into a declassified secret. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more untold stories from history. Let me know in the comments what you think about this incredible underwater encounter. See you next time.